got a loaded show for you today, Saints fans. So to start things off, we're going to dive into some injury updates. We got some big-time news around some big-time players, so don't miss out on that. And also, a former five-star recruit, a wide receiver, worked out for the New Orleans Saints recently. And then we're going to be discussing Pete Carmichael. His seat's red hot. And I'm going to tell you why it just got hotter. But let's get into the fun for today's show. It's Falcons Hate Week, so let's go ahead, drop a like on the video. You see Homer Simpson right here. He says, hey, wait, I have to go throw my garbage away. And it's a Falcons logo because the Falcons are garbage. So if you hate the Falcons, if you're pumped up for this game, like today's video. And guys, today's video would not be made possible without our friends over at Prize Picks. It's so much fun. It's daily fantasy sports made easy, and you can get started by going to prizepicks.com/CLNS and using promo code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Now, here are the projections that I'm rolling with this week. I saw this Christian McCaffrey deal, and I was like, holy cow. I can't not make a projection on that. I have to take the more on this one. But Aiden O'Connell, I think that the Chiefs defense, they're a solid unit. And after that loss against the Eagles, they're going to want to bounce back big time. So I think Aiden O'Connell's going to struggle. I'm going with less than 212.5 yards. But guys, if you want to ride my picks, if you want to fade my picks, just go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use promo code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, it's daily fantasy sports made easy. Link is in the comment section description of this video. All right, without further ado, let's talk about the injury news. So first things first, MT, death, taxes, Michael Thomas injuries. I swear to God, it's the worst thing in the world. But this is not a recurring issue. This isn't an injury that, sparked because of previous issues and stuff. This is a knee injury. A Vikings player ran into his knee with a helmet. Tell me you wouldn't want to miss a week of football after that. I mean, come on. That hurts. It doesn't feel good to get your knee rammed in by another guy's head. Doesn't feel good at all. So he likely won't play against the Falcons. So that's the big update around him. The injury report will come out tomorrow, and we'll make a video all around that. But we also are expecting to see a guy named Marshon Lattimore on that injury report. He's dealing with an ankle injury. He likely will not play against the Atlanta Falcons, which I think is a big miss because not that the Falcons have great pass catchers, in my opinion. I just think that Marshon Lattimore is so great that when you have him on the field, it's going to absolutely diminish the Falcons' passing game. And Dennis Allen was asked about these injury updates, and he said that I think Michael Thomas and Lattimore, these are injuries that are going to take some time. But I think other than that, we're in a pretty good spot. And so Dennis Allen was asked, hey, are they going to go to IR? Is injured reserve a possibility for these two players? I don't know. We'll see. Dennis Allen stinks. Fire him. And now an injury update on Derek Carr. He's still in concussion protocol. The AC joint injury right shoulder, wrong arm. Good job, Trace. The right AC shoulder or AC joint and the shoulder injury that he suffered or aggravated. Not much of an issue, but the concussion protocol is still something that the Saints are monitoring. They don't want to rush him back for obvious reasons. And I do think that if you have Jameis Winston fill in or Isaac Yadam or Paulson Adebo for Marshon Lattimore, or even for Michael Thomas, you have a Marquez Callaway, you have a AT pair, you have one of those guys step up and fill in. I think that they have the weapons to do it. It's just a matter of can the coaching use those weapons. So if you think that injuries are the worst part about football, if you hate injuries, if you're just like, man, I just want to watch my big-time players make big-time plays on Sundays, just type F injuries. I don't care if you're a Falcons fan. I don't care if you're a Saints fan. I don't care if you're a fan of the XFL. Everyone hates injuries in sports. So type F injuries down below. So we teased this. 5-star wide receiver worked out for the New Orleans Saints. Brooke Kirschhofer with this update yesterday, saying that wide receivers Tarik Black, Jalen Camp, and Jadon Haselwood tried out for New Orleans alongside Marquez Callaway, who did sign with the practice squad. And that 5-star wide receiver is none other than Jadon Haselwood. He's a former 5-star recruit. He was one of the top recruits in the 2019 class. I mean, he was a stud coming out of high school. He was the number 6 overall recruit in 2019, the number 1 wide receiver in 2019. He played his college football at Oklahoma, transferred to Arkansas for his senior year, and then he signed with Philadelphia as a UDFA this past offseason. And in terms of the college production, there hasn't been much in the NFL. He hasn't gotten a ton of, reps and a lot of run. But the college stats aren't that bad. I really like it. You can sit here and say the whole 5-star idea, maybe that's a bust. Only 10 touchdowns, less than 1,500 yards. But I'm just going to say this. Lincoln Riley ruined him. Arkansas, I love KJ Jefferson, but he's not a real quarterback. He's a good runner. He's a great runner. He's a good thrower. But he's not like a pocket passer. He's not a guy who's going to make Jadon Haselwood look incredible. But he did lead he was second in receptions for the Hogs his senior year with Arkansas. And yeah, I think that it would be an interesting addition. He did work out, and coming up, I am going to give my analysis, and I'm going to give my take on whether or not the Saints should go sign this wide receiver. But before we get to that, we're in a sub-battle, guys. I need your help. The Atlanta Falcons today, our channel, Falcons, we're going to just spell it wrong. We're not even going to give them the light of day of spelling their name right. The Falcons. More like the fail-cants or the fail-cons. Falcons. They're just a con of a football team, a con of a YouTube channel. So we got to beat them in the sub-battle. We're down right now, 13-21. I'm not happy with that. Let's pump those numbers up. If you hate the Falcons, if you don't even want to spell their name right, subscribe today. So my take on signing Jadon Haselwood, I think it wouldn't be a bad idea. I'm just going to preface with this. I'm very greedy when it comes to wide receivers. I've seen it way too many times on way too many teams at way too many different levels of good quarterback, good team, shit wide receivers. And that's going to be what ultimately leads to your team's downfall. But I will say this, you already signed Marquez Callaway. There's familiarity there. He's a big body guy. He has done some good things with the New Orleans Saints. So I don't think you need to. I think you're fine without Haselwood. But like I said, I'm very greedy when it comes to wide receivers. So bringing him in and having him be on the practice squad, I wouldn't necessarily hate. But here comes the stop talking about wide receivers. We need offensive line help. Here comes that conversation. Here comes all of those people in the comment section. I bet some of y'all already made a comment of, why are we talking wide receivers? The offensive line is what needs help. Well, here's the thing. There's really no one worth a damn in the NFL. These are some of your best options. You want to know something crazy? The youngest age on this? 29. And Leo Collins, he isn't what he used to be. I hate to break it to you, Saints fans. I know you all really want him, but here's the thing. The Saints would have signed him by now if he was good. Taylor Lewan, he's a podcast boy now. He ain't coming back to the NFL. Justin Pugh, Gabe Jackson, Roger Saffold. These are all guys that are over 30 years old. They're not going to be better than what you currently have. So that is my thing. I don't think that the offensive line is going to get an addition. I don't think they're going to sign anybody else on the offensive line. They go and add a player. It's going to be a skill position, defensive skill position, whatever. I don't think that they're going to go and add an offensive lineman. But let's play a game here. Name a former Saints player you would bring back, whether they're retired, whether they're still in the NFL, whether they played 150 years ago. I don't care. For me, I'm going Jari Evans. I need that offensive line help. I really do. So that's what I'm going to say. The only rule, you can't say Drew Brees. All right. To round the show out, we talked about Pete Carmichael been on the hot seat. Well, Steelers fired Matt Canada. So that's why I think Pete Carmichael's seat is that much hotter. Because here's the thing, Matt Canada stunk. Steelers fans not happy with Canada. And what's crazy about this is this made history for Pittsburgh. Them firing Matt Canada today marks the first time that they made an in-season coaching change since 1941. And you know what that was? It was Burt Bell, the head coach / coordinator, who fired himself. He's the half owner. He fired himself. The Steelers said that they would do it. And so they're a team that doesn't fire coaches. And they fired a coach. Mickey, do something, man. And oh my God, this quote made me so fired up. This fired me the F up. Brett Martell on WDSU, a news station in New Orleans that does a lot, that was talking about the Saints recently, said, Mickey Loomis is a general manager who really believes in stability. He likes to view the Saints like a team that operates like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, Mickey, if that's the case, your move. it is your move. And if you don't have a reason to fire him, 1, check Twitter. 2, check any of our videos that we put out in the last 9 months, 10 months, year and a half, I'd say. And if you need an even more reason, a more recent reason, look at this picture. Look at this frickin' picture. You can see all the way up here, Mike McDaniel. Pretty well-respected play caller, I would say, right? He's pretty smart. Uses a lot of pre-snap motion. Very innovative, very creative mind. Very high-scoring offense. Very good offense, despite having Tua be your quarterback. You want to know who's all the way on the other side? On the exact opposite of Mike McDaniel? Pete Carmichael. You can see in the middle here, Canada, my finger's going to get cut off, but kind of in the middle right there. Pete Carmichael's worse than that. Things literally could not get worse than they already are. And for the people who are saying, Trace, who's going to take over play calling duties? I don't give a shit. I don't fucking care. Literally, it could be anyone else and it would be better. It could be anybody else and it would be better. I think producer Chip and I could go run this team better than Pete Carmichael. We could make better play calls. There's no creativity. There is no juice. The offense is boring. It's predictable. You have watched this team for over 2 years just look boring. And that is why Pete Carmichael needs to go. If the Saints lose to the frickin' Falcons, I don't even think that Pete Carmichael should be allowed on the plane home. I don't think he should be allowed in the state of Louisiana. They should ban him from the city of New Orleans. Unless they're going to put him on cleaning up trash duty after Mardi Gras on Bourbon Street. That's the only way that I'll be like, hey, fine, he can stick around in the great city of New Orleans. But guys, if you want more coverage in between these videos, if you guys want to get some more of my hot takes or just learn more about me as a guy, give me a follow on Twitter, or X, formerly known as Twitter. I swear to God I do that every time. Trace Gerard 48. The links are in the comment section in the description of this video. That's also my handle for all of my social medias. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like, subscribe as always, and y'all stay golden. We'll catch you next time.